we do have vampires around us. Crucial 13, that's what's up. Shout out to you.
I feel like every time Crucial ever talked, it was making mad sense.
Get Crucial.
Hungry. I need some bacon.
Look at that. This is the city I'm in right now.
So you're saying the man who translated the Bible beheaded his own mother?
Oh yeah. King James I, the man behind the King James Bible, had his mother Mary, Queen of Scots, locked up and then executed.
Okay, hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video. Now, I've been telling people that the rulers of the times that these Bibles have been translated, quote unquote, in, always put their spin on it. Whatever their ideologies are, their own personal beliefs and whatever spells they're under, they will incorporate it in society, in which way to shape society better than to, infiltrate the good books.
He worked with his aunt, Queen Elizabeth I, to make it happen. Why? So he could secure his place as King of England. That's not exactly the kind of story you'd expect from someone tied to the Bible, is it? But it doesn't stop there.
Now, before we continue with this brilliant clip, some people may say, well, just because a bad guy took credit for the good book or whatever doesn't mean the book is bad or anything like that. And I'll tell you what, the Bible in its purest foundation is a great book, okay? But to have somebody so wicked translate something for you means that they can put their own spin on whatever they want you to understand it as. An energy vampire's mission is to make evil good. So what they'll do is justify wickedness, and the best way to do that is take your good books and start spinning it. Say, okay, it was always good to be in harmony with nature and animals and stuff like that. Let's spin it. Let's make them start eating them. Let's make them, have dominion. Let's make it, that's a gross perversion of what it was meant to be. The energy vampire cannot survive under righteous laws. So he's not here to just say, okay, I'm righteous. Now he's here to claim the spot as, okay, we're the gods on the planet. But they have to, somehow get their vibration held on a higher pedestal. So they would take books that were meant to guide you into the narrow path and back into the light and spin it into a guide to help energy vampires survive the planet that is actually designed to destroy them.
James had a thing for demonology. He wasn't just curious about it, he wrote an entire book, Demonology, all about witches, demons, and their nasty tricks. And this is the same guy who decided, hey, I should translate the Bible for everyone.
So you have the guy who wrote the book of demonology translating the Bible. Remember, I said translating, not taking credit for, not just saying, okay, everything righteous like the 42 laws of Ma'at. I take credit for all that. No, because them righteous laws destroy demons, which is why all these translations seem to justify a lot of our shit. And if you don't believe me about them justifying, why is it that they took Christ, the being that was teaching you how to be righteous and walk the narrow path, they took him and said, as long as you worship in him, you don't have to change your lawless ways. You can keep being lawless. You know why they did that? Because to keep these energy vampires harvesting energy on the planet, you have to be low vibrational. So they justified your lawlessness. And this is the guy that wrote the book of demonology that knows everything about it. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't study this type of stuff, because I believe that you actually should. Because the devil is masquerading as God. So you better start looking into the devil and seeing what the fuck he's all about. Because then you could see a false God.
And then there's his personal life. Rumors say he had questionable relationships with men, including his cousin, and he wasn't exactly known for being morally upright. Yet this is the man people trust for one of the most influential versions of the Bible. Do you see the problem here?
Now, when you start studying this and you start trying to find yourself the way I have, you would know that it does take a very immoral person to start justifying some of the things that these religions are telling you you're allowed to do, as long as you worship Christ as your Savior. And a lot of people know that, yes, the real way to worship, to follow Christ and to accept him as your Savior is that accepting that being 100% righteous and Christ-like will be your way out of here. So in a sense, that is your Savior. Some of you think that all you have to do is worship by words and you don't have to change your actions, but that's not your fault. That is because this justifier, this immoral person, infiltrated your good books to sell your soul to the devil or energy vampires.
Now let's talk about the translation itself. King James didn't write the Bible, but he commissioned it to solve political and religious problems in his kingdom. It wasn't just about faith, it was about control. He needed a version of the Bible that supported his rule and brought peace to a divided nation. That's the agenda nobody talks about.
See, now ain't that what Crucial 13 is talking about? Throughout the last few thousand years, these energy vampires from since the last end of an age to the new age have been implementing their way of life, terraforming the planet. So lowering the frequency of the collective, okay? So what'll happen is, you know, a couple thousand years ago, they started slow. They started little bit by little bit. So they'll go, okay, let's teach these people how to cut down trees, or let's teach these people they got dominion over animals. Let's teach these people whatever. Let's slowly get it to where they go from demoralizing you from just a small level like that to where little by little they start detaching you from nature. Now we're all the way into the end of an era, the end of a new age. And what they got you guys doing, you don't even know your own gender anymore. They got you from that starting, because if you could actually use right and wrong as your measuring stick, you know, pure righteousness before the fall of man, where everything was in harmony, use that as your 0 point. And then you start seeing, oh shit, okay, they implemented this, and every decade, every century, it gets worse and worse, to where, you know, you have religious groups now, even new age Christian groups and all that stuff, justifying like the leftism movements and all that stuff, to where it's okay to do certain things that they would not approve of back then. You know what I mean? So it's always getting worse and worse. This energy vampire comes through these people and starts chipping away at our morality. It's to terraform the planet. It's to make you a willing food source for them. They feed off our energy, okay? This is where I get the term energy vampire. They're demons, vampires, or whatever that harvest our energy, that feed off of our life force. If you could use it right and wrong as the measuring stick, life good, death bad. Life force us, death force them. Okay, you have to just look at it simply sometimes. All right, and this energy vampire chipped away at the Bible. Now, what they would do when they translated it is they would change the words meaning, the meaning of the words. That's why you got words that mean something now that didn't mean the same back then. That's because the justifier came along. The guy who was vibrating low got in power and rulership and got a hold of all your books, infiltrating it, and said, you know what, this word doesn't mean this no more. Now this word means what I want it to mean. So that's why you would take the word black, used to mean, you know, it was straight up evil, wicked, and all that other type of stuff. But now, because they want wickedness to be good, they would put that good vibration on that word now. And as you see right here, you know, a perfect example of justifying his ways was the word meat actually meant the flesh of the fruits. So the person that's vibrating low enough to start turning on the animals that he actually was supposed to be taking care of and leading the way of, he just one day freaked out and started turning on them because he had that energy vampire in him. So what he would do is, okay, let me implement this into the good books to say, hey, no, this ain't wrong. Even though you looked at me eating on some of this stuff and you saw the devil in me, don't worry, I'm not wrong, because look, it says it right here, we can do this. And then this happened a long time ago. This was one of the first perversions, okay, that came along. And then ever since then, it just been getting lower and lower and lower to where now immorality is okay. And it's even okay to Christians. They just say as long as you worship Jesus, that you'll be okay. But if you look into that story, that ain't even the same guy that you think it is. So we're, when that's for another video. But, I just wanted to make this one real quick, to help people understand. Be righteous, man. Looking within your soul. God gave you the answers. If it feels wrong to you, just start using that as your measuring stick. Don't go to these rewritten books if you don't understand what you're reading. Okay, you have to start learning etymology. Learn what these words meant before King James came and perverted the whole book and said, no, this means this, this means this. No, do your etymology, do your research, all right? So, be righteous, walk the narrow path, use your soul and your heart as your measuring stick, and that will tell you if something's right or wrong, because I could read some stuff in there and it's to saying certain animals you can eat, but I still don't even want, I don't want to hurt any animal. I'm vibrating so high. I'm on that God level so high right now. I don't want to hurt no animals, man. I'll eat the plants. I'll eat the vegetables. I'll eat the fruits. I'll drink the water. What God made me. I'll take the stuff that God made for me and doesn't run away from me in fear, because God don't make mistakes. He wouldn't have made the animals run from fear if he wanted you to eat them. All right. So that was nothing but a justification and a perversion of the book, made by this justifier who was actually the teacher of demonology and all that stuff. Okay, so yeah, let me know what y'all think of in the comments. This is Crucial. I ain't woke, I'm up. Peace, love, 13.
We do have vampires around us. Crucial 13, that's what's up. Shout out to you.
I feel like every time Crucial ever talked, it was making mad sense.
Get Crucial. I'm hungry. I need some bacon.
Look at this. Look at it. This is the city I'm in right now.